Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Tiana Michelle, if you didn't already know. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing a chit chat, get ready with me. I'm just going to be sitting on my floor. I don't have any of my lighting on. I'm just sitting in front of my window. I'm going to be doing my makeup because I'm going to take some photos today. And I just wanted to sit down and just chat with y'all about whatever. I just don't want every video to be about hair because honestly to me it gets boring. So if it gets boring to me, I know it has to be boring to other people. I'll link everything that I'm using down in the description box. I don't wear a lot of makeup, but I feel like the routine that I've developed works for me. But yeah, we're just gonna talk. So with everything that's been going on the past few months, it's been difficult for me. I'm a very sensitive person and I'm extremely empathetic, so I have to stay away from certain things because it can be overwhelming for me. All of these things that have been going on, it's been just making me think about my personal experiences dealing with racism. I grew up in a military family, so I was always raised around a lot of people, a lot of different cultures. Although the military is very diverse, majority of the schools that I went to, even though they were culturally diverse, there weren't a lot of Black people. I was always the only like Black girl, and if there were other Black people, you know, my friends, they were mixed. I was living in California at the time and I'm not worried about sharing this experience because it was when I was a kid, and the people in the two girls that I'm going to be talking about, they probably will never come across this video, and if they do, I just hope that they're better people, okay? I was 7 years old and school had just ended, and this girl who I thought we were friends, this girl called me the N-word. Before I could even think about it, I hit her. It was kind of like a reflex. I knew that what she said was wrong, so I hit her. I don't regret it to this day. She deserved it. And I walked home like nothing had happened. This girl chased me home. Like she was so mad. She ran home after me to my house and came knocking on my door. And you could hear her behind me saying, I'm telling your mother that you hit me. Come right to my house, okay? Because are you gonna tell my mother why I hit you? Are you gonna tell her that? The funny thing about this, y'all, is that this girl came to my house with a Black girl. How'd that look? How do you call me the N-word and show up at my house with another Black person who's on your side? Now, I didn't have the word for it back then, but you know, we say all skin folk ain't kinfolk now. I didn't know that term back then, but that is so true. And she didn't get in trouble for it. The school didn't do anything about it. She said that she learned it from her dad. That's one instance that I've been thinking about a lot lately. And as I said, all I can do is hope that she's a better person today. Although honestly, children learn horrible, disgusting habits from their parents. I would like to hope that she's a better person now, but you can't always expect the best from certain people, because if she was already becoming that type of person at the age of 7, there's no telling how she is now. That's why it kind of aggravates me when people say that racism does not exist, or that it's so far in the past and that we need to get over certain things. Like, get over what? We're still going through microaggressions to this day, and it's crazy. From a very early age, I had to learn that people won't like you because of how you look. The crazy thing about this is that I dealt with racism not only from people that who I thought were my friends or my classmates and my peers, but I dealt with it from adults as well. You know, some of my teachers targeted us, the few Black kids that there were. I remember when I was in the 4th grade, I can say her name, Miss Hudson. Miss Hudson was the devil, man. And she was a nun, y'all. Miss Hudson was an actual nun. Like, she dressed like a nun and everything because she was a nun, but she hated Black people. She always targeted the Black kids. I remember I was playing with one of my friends. We were like running out of the line, you know, just being kids. He didn't get in trouble at all. Like, I was the one who got in trouble. And I don't remember what she said to me, but it was very mean. I just remember her yellow teeth getting all over my face, and she said something rude. I don't even remember what it was, because I used to tune her out all the time because I did not like her, but she was horrible. And that's what I say, like, teachers should really be mindful of the things that they say to their students, because they remember. When I got to middle school, I became more into my studies. So I was extremely smart, and I never bothered anybody. I was easy to get along with. I never had any issues with any of my teachers, any of my classmates, any of my friends, or anything like that. So I will never forget, they had a bowling party for all students who made the honor roll and the principal's list. And I always made principal's list because I was a nerd, but I made the principal's list, so I was lining up to go to the bowling party. And there was a teacher there. I still don't know her name because she never taught me, but apparently there's a teacher there. Hold it, we're gonna skip forward. Okay, so we had the bowling party, right? I had a good old time, came back to school on Monday, and I got in trouble in class for something. I know I didn't do anything. Probably had something to do with talking or something like that. But I got silent lunch. I was sitting at the silent lunch table by myself, had silent lunch. It was for the dumbest reason ever. And one of the chaperones or volunteers who was a teacher, who was at the bowling party, she came up to me and she like stormed over to the table. And I felt like it was funny that she was coming to me when I had silent lunch, because that made me feel like, oh, she already had her assumptions made up about what kind of person or student or child that she thought I was. She came over and she was like, you were at the bowling party on Friday, right, for honor roll? And I was like, yes. She's all like, you rolled your eyes at me. And I was like, what? I was so confused. I was like, I rolled my eyes at her? What is she talking about? I didn't roll my eyes at this lady. I don't even know who she is. She wouldn't even let me speak. I tried to explain myself. I was like, I didn't roll my eyes at you. Ma'am, I don't even know who you are. And she's like, you don't have to say anything. Like, she cut me off before I could even say anything. She's like, you don't have to say anything, but let me tell you this. Looks aren't everything. And I was like, what? What is she talking about? I can still remember this to this day, you guys. She looked me in my face and she said, looks aren't everything. You're a pretty girl, but you're not going anywhere in life with that nasty attitude. I never even really thought about the way that I looked. You know what I mean? I was 12 years old. My mom literally always taught me to be the best version that you can be, shine from inside and out. So my character, my whole life has always been something that, I don't know, I'm getting emotional now, you guys. I'm not gonna cry about that because I'm so over it. I don't even know why I'm feeling a certain kind of way right now, but my character was questioned that day, and that just really bothered me because that's something that I've always taken seriously. Like, I've always felt like you have to be more than just this. Like, you're more than that. And I never even looked at myself in that way. So for somebody to come up to me, and someone who doesn't know me, and tell me that really hurt me because it wasn't true. Like, oh, that bothered me so badly. I didn't do anything to that lady. And for her to come up to me and to say that to a child, with her, those types of people, I just have no faith for. She is who she is. And unfortunately, people like that are in our education system. It aggravates me that people like that are in the education system, breaking down our children, specifically our minorities, specifically our Black children. They're breaking them down. They're making them feel worthless, all based on their bias, their bigotry, their racism, and their downright ignorance. I was young. I was only 12 years old then. You know, I was a freaking child. What I've learned today at 24, 12 years later, is that what other people think about you is none of your concern, honestly, and unfortunately can't control what other people think of you. The only thing that you can do is be happy with who you are. Someone may always have a problem with you, and that's a reflection of them and not you, and those are issues that they have. You know, that affects confidence. A lot of people think that confidence is something that you just have, but no, confidence is is something that you learn through everything that surrounds you in your life. And it starts when you're young. And oftentimes, a lot of us have to fight against so many things that try to tear us down and try to tarnish every ounce of confidence that we have before we reach the age of 18. And I know I'm not the only person who's gone through that. As a child, I was so outgoing and so out there, and many things happened in my life that kind of like broke me down, and I had to come from that. I've been everywhere, you know, and I've experienced things from both sides that have affected my confidence, like, you know, being at predominantly white schools and dealing with stuff from there, and then the culture shock of going into high school and moving from one state to the other and being around people who looked like me, which I thought was awesome, but it was an adjustment because, you know, I dealt with stuff from them too, you know, and it made me so shy. Like, I didn't talk much in school. I got made fun of for how I speak. People would say that I sound like a white girl. And because of how I sounded, people didn't really give me a chance. And they labeled me as being bougie and stuck up. So that didn't help me. That didn't make me want to talk anymore. So I really shut down, y'all. Not that it matters, but I was not the cool kid at all in high school, y'all. I ate lunch by myself. I spent a lot of time alone until I made like some really good friends in high school. I made about 2 or 3 that I still consider close friends to this day, and thank God for them. Although I went through a lot of bull crap at my predominantly white schools, I had a lot of friends because I was able to easily adapt. But when I moved, I wasn't used to anyone thinking that my voice sounded different. So that was shocking for me, and in my mannerisms and having people like, you know, kind of make fun of you behind your back because you don't act like what they think a black girl should act like, which I think is stupid because we're all different. Like, we're all meant to be who we are. There isn't one way to be black. But you know, when you're in high school, people don't understand that. And you can't entirely fault them for that. So high school sucked, y'all. But I'm so glad that I was able to become confident in who I am when I went to college, and just meeting more open-minded people. How anybody else feels about you shouldn't matter anyways. And I'm only 24, so of course I still have a lot to learn. A lot. I don't know if you're watching the video all the way through, but if you make it to this point of the video, comment down below how you're feeling, because I know it's a lot going on to be living through a movement and a pandemic all at the same time, and we all handle and process things differently. And now it's more important than ever to really just keep up with your loved ones and check on them more often. Make sure they're doing well. Sometimes you see how your family members or your friends are doing on social media, and you just assume that that's their life and that's everything that's going on. It's really not. They may not actually be going through what they're posting, even though it looks so positive and so amazing and blah, blah, blah. You should still just check on them and see how they're doing. I've been really into press-on nails lately. These here are press-ons. I can link down in the description box where I got them from, but they're so easy, and my nails have been growing really well underneath them. I get all of my nails in short because I just can't function with super long nails, so mine are pretty short. But I think this is still like such a cute length. Got that. I think I want a little bit more. I feel like adding this blush just adds a little poquito dimension to your face. I like sitting and just talking. For me, it's therapeutic. It feels like nice to just sit down and talk to you guys, because I really don't ever just sit down and talk to y'all. And I've been on YouTube for a year, and sometimes I feel like I pressure myself too much into having all these well thought out videos and tutorials, and it can be exhausting and draining, especially when you feel like you're not doing as much as you think you could be doing, because I'll be so excited about a video and then it won't do as well as I thought that it would. That I had to let go of the expectation of how other people perceive my content on Instagram and YouTube. I've had to teach myself very early on that you're not doing this for popularity, you're not doing this for other people, you're doing this because you enjoy it. If you spend all your time worried about how many views you're gonna get, how many likes something is gonna get, it just sucks out all of the fun from it for me. And I feel like it would make me not enjoy what I'm doing as much. And I don't want to get to a point where I don't enjoy this. So that's something that I have to constantly remind myself of. Your worth is not based in the numbers attached to your social media. Really proud of the growth that I had. My growth isn't like, you know, people like, I'm subscribed to her and I really like her videos. The girl that talks about like her life living in her van, that's very rare to grow anywhere like that, but I still love her videos. Of course, my growth isn't like comparable to that. For 95% of us, it won't be, but I still feel like I've grown really well, and I'm very proud of that. To have been on YouTube for a year and like consistently posting at least once a week for as much as I can with having a full-time job. I'm really proud to have gained 12,000 of you, 12,000 subscribers in 1 year. I'm extremely thankful, and I don't take it for granted. If you want to do something, do it. It is not too late to start a YouTube channel in 2020. It's not too late to do that business venture that you want to do. It's just not. And it's not, nothing is oversaturated, okay? And I don't think it's the product or the tutorial or the hairstyle or the makeup tutorial that people really want to see. I think it's that individualism. Like, people want to see you. They want to see how you do it. That stops people from doing a lot of things. People get intimidated by the fact that there's already so many people out doing a certain thing that it stops them from reaching their potential. When you stop caring about what everybody else is doing and just focus on yourself, oh my goodness. First of all, the freedom that you will feel, and the amount of success that you will gain in your own right just by doing something that you like to do. So I'm just gonna moisturize my lips with my EOS. I'm feeling fancy, so I'm gonna be wearing these earrings. And I'm just gonna be wearing this slip dress for my pictures. I'm gonna try it on and I'll come back and show y'all. All right, so I'm all dressed now. I'll step back real quick so you can like see the dress I'm wearing. It's like a slip dress that you can tie up on the side, but that's what I'm wearing. Thank you guys all so much for watching this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, just sitting down, chilling out with me and chit-chatting. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Your support helps me out so much more than you know, especially as a smaller and newer channel. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I always leave it right here for you, and I will see you all next Friday. Bye-bye.